I did not say that.
Good evening, fraidy cats and scaredy dogs, and welcome to an all-new session of Blood from a Stone.
Ooh.
Fraidy cats and scaredy dogs is what I just said. That's a phrase. My name's Philip. I'm the Dreadmaster of this game, because horror. And surrounding me are our lovely victims. I mean players.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know why I do these, because I don't even like them, but I do them. Yes, we have wonderful players. Say hello, players.
Hello,
Hello.
Blood from a Stone is a game, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, in which there's a huge amount of player death and character turnover. So this is kind of a patchwork tapestry-like story where often events will occur directly following from what has gone on.
Character death and player turnover.
Well,
You
both.
said player death.
I mean,
That's actually a fair point. That's a
Are we
fair
not all
point.
dying bit by bit?
I guess I
Emotionally.
guess I did mean player character death, but that is a good point. I do mean character death and player turnover. Woo! In any event, my friends and neighbors and viewers.
Any event or just some events?
Almost all. There's a few.
Okay.
There appear to be an event happening. That's from a movie called The Happening, not The Event. So we have kind of this strange, almost patchwork kind of story in which you get, just watching even a session, you'll get an interesting tale. Sometimes it will begin in the middle of dramatic occurrences like it will today. Other times it might be something that almost seems like a strange non sequitur one-off, like when Dylan and the monsters go into a shrine. That happened a couple weeks ago, and Dylan emerged from it. Dylan, just a young man, emerged from it with a staff of the Magi, as well as a new friend whose name is Stremzaz, although at present she's going by Stacy. Dylan is an occupant or a resident of a town called Paradise, which is in fact a domain of dread, a sort of sequestered, walled-off space that no one can escape from, not even its Dark Lord, the Stone Man. A statue with sunglasses who speaks in an odd cadence and seems to just really want love. Someone who'll accept him for him. With Dylan, he has a few allies, one of whom is a young theater student at Darkmoor College named Dahlia Frey. Dahlia is our longest tenured character. She is a second level, and I think Dahlia, if she survives,
This session and the next one?
This session and the next one, Dahlia will become a third level character, which is kind of unheard of.
Which means she's for sure gonna die.
We also have another character who is who's relatively sort of high in power ever since she died. Oksana, a young woman from she was a Russian exchange student at the high school. She seems to have a little thing for Dahlia. There was maybe some kind of connection blossoming. She was tragically slain by a vampire. They seemed to bury her. She died, coincidentally, so that Dylan could live. But now she has come back from the dead
welcome.
as a vampire spawn, and though she has fed on human flesh, it was kind of a jerk, so it seemed fine. Or human blood, rather. You might have swallowed a little flesh in there, too, who's to say. But Dahlia was very upset that this person she cared about, like so many others in the past several days, once kind of these dread storms have begun, has now died, even though now this dead person is still standing there talking to her. We also have Dr. Robert Schlichter. Dr. Robert is a psychologist. He gets the scripts out when necessary, and he was also a victim of those vampires. Although he did not die, he has 1 hit point, which also I believe is his current maximum hit points, due to the drinking nature of a vampire's necrotic powers. So this group were sort of reunited after having been sort of spread around town for a while. Dahlia and a tiefling, who none of them really quite understood where this tiefling came from. This is not the vibe of their otherwise kind of mid-century American town. They decided to, in order to get away from a frightening talking tree, they agreed to kill a witch and enlisted the rest of the group to help. Especially enthusiastic in this job was a young woman named Stacy, who was kind of just wearing a poodle skirt and hanging off the arm of young Dylan. When it was determined that Stacy was a lot more than she seemed, Sorrow suggested maybe Stacy could go take on this witch on their behalf, a witch who was hiding as a librarian named Minutia. She has these very large glasses which have recently come off, and that was a very dazzling and upsetting occurrence when that occurred. But at present, Minutia, as far as everyone here knows, has cast a dominate person spell upon Stremzaz, aka Stacy, and now these high-level casters are walking out of the library in order to take out the group. Sorrow tried to break the concentration of Minutia, hitting her with a guiding bolt. Minutia replied by having Stremzaz just blight Sorrow into dust. Our young Dylan did the same, firing a bolt of flame out of which this is the first any of you are seeing this, by the way. Dylan's glamour fades, and you see that he has a gemstone with like blood kind of caked around it that he has embedded in his eye, or that has been embedded in his eye, and that burst out flame. Currently, this woman, Minutia, is on fire, and she looks like she's taken a fair bit of damage. But the two casters are now walking out of the library, turning towards the four of you who remain. We are starting today's game after a brief invocation with the rolling of initiative. So in fact,
From our sponsors.
if you all would go ahead and you may roll your dice for your initiative rolls.
Oh no.
God damn it.
Just everyone hold them where they are, and then I will read this.
So roll now.
Roll now. Actually, you know what? Roll now, say it, and then we're gonna everybody. Roll now. Give it to me now. 5 for Dylan. Oh, Dylan.
God damn it.
Dylan, which spell did you prepare? Are you trying 4 for Oksana?
Wait, no, +3.
7?
7.
Yeah, hold on. I need to open my sheet because I don't remember what my bonus to initiative. You'd think after playing this character for long enough, I would remember her initiative bonus.
I never know.
Remember.
11.
11 for Dr. Schlichter. Okay.
So it's an 8. 8 for Dahlia.
Cool.
Oh no.
We're all gonna die. This is real bad.
I'm gonna roll a couple things real quick over here.
Real bad.
That's for you.
This is not good.
And then
For the record, I will be preparing the spell Expeditious Retreat.
I try not to do this, but I do just need to show right now what our fine friend. This may be hard to focus on. This is a hard one to see, but that is a natural 20.
Good.
That's a natural 20 for a wizard named Stacy.
Oh,
That's you.
good.
That's you. I bid you
Oh,
farewell.
God, I don't know.
Oh, and actually that gets it to even higher, I believe. But the other one rolled pretty good too.
God damn it.
So that will be a.
It was nice knowing you.
Oh boy. Alrighty. So, with that, oh, I have to roll one other thing. I'm so excited. Permit me one moment before we begin. Okay. Will not be of too much note. Fair enough. Perfect. All right, so now we are going to read our invocation. Dylan, this one's for you.
Oh no.
And even if you don't have anywhere to go, you go down on the pedal and you're ready to roll, and your speed is all you'll ever need to know. Alrighty.
It's like I have a need for speed.
So, that's the good news. The other news is that this necromancer is going to the Stremzaz, and she is now in her normal form. Her skin is she is alive, but her skin is very pale. She has kind of long black hair. She's in sort of this black kind of robe. She walks out without a care in the world, having been told to. She sees Dylan running away. She kind of smiles at him. And in fact, I'm going to let her have DM Fiat say a few more words in 6 seconds, but she'll say, like, "That was very good with the flame. But you'll get better It's only a matter of practice. Now that you know how it's done, it's only a matter of practice. She turns to the rest. Her eyes sweep across Oksana. Now, Oksana is undead, and she kind of but then she looks at these other two, Dahlia and Robert, and then she's simply going to go evens odds. Dahlia. She kind of just laughs, and then she begins to cast a spell. And what you see is this 12-foot long skeletal hand just like emerges almost from the earth, like reaching up, and it is going to attack Dahlia. It is going to strike at her. So she will roll an attack roll, which for her is a +7 to hit.
Yeet.
Dahlia, it definitely does. Does a 25 hit your armor class?
Yeah, that definitely hits my armor class.
And Dahlia will be taking 4d8 force damage. However, I do roll 2 1s on there, so Dahlia gets out pretty easy with 13 points of damage as you are just slammed by this skeletal hand, this skeleton. But interestingly, because I'm gonna actually say of her sort of kind of cleverness, she kind of looks around and, remembering Oksana standing there, she makes sure that it draws just enough blood. She makes sure that there's some blood there. And I will say that, Oksana, it is not yet your turn, but off the smiling face of this dominated person, Oksana, your eyes do, like, your nostrils flare. And there is something, and you hate to admit this, you know it's wrong, we'll get to it in a second, but this blood smells better than any you've ever scented before.
How much damage did I take?
You took
13?
You took
14, I think.
14?
I
13, right?
think you took 13
None.
points. None, you're
you
fine.
took
Yeah.
none,
You
my
took
love.
13 points.
None of
Ooh,
it.
13. How auspicious. Cool. All right. It is now the beginning of the term of minutia. So, Dylan, would you please roll me a d10?
Okay. I can
Let's
do that. I can
see
roll
if let's see if the concentration.
God damn it. It's a 1.
Okay. Well, she still has to roll. She easily rolls over 20. So as far as she knows, she's still concentrated on this spell. So doing that, man, she's got him too, huh? Oof. She is gonna walk out. What's the range on? Let's see. She walks out. She sees Dylan about 30 feet away. She sees Oksana about 5 feet away. She sees Dr. Robert Schlichter. Dylan, this is coming down to it. I'm gonna actually have you do it. Okay, so you're going to roll a d6. I'm going to do it in reverse distance, so it's going to be Schlichter, Oksana, or it's going to be Oksana, Schlichter, then you. So Oksana's 1, 2, Schlichter's 3, 4, you are 5, 6 is the target of this spell. Please roll a d6 for me, because I'm a psychopath and I make people do it. I'm a sadist.
4.
1.
1. So that means it is going at Oksana. All right. So she sort of turns to Oksana and kind of like thinking about you for a moment. She is going to make an attack roll. You see this like no, she wouldn't do that. Is she dumb? Hold on, sorry everyone.
Yeah, she's dumb. Let's say she's dumb.
No, that's her. Dang. Every stuff's concentration, and she thinks she's concentrating. I'm so sorry. The only thing she has is blight. So you are going to be resistant to this, but I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Oksana.
Oh, it's 20.
20. Okay, so you will only take half. So you're only going to take half of this, then only half again. Wow, this time did I roll higher? So that is 15, 30, 40, 52. So you take 13 points of damage as well.
Okay.
That is after your own, sort of after kind of staying against it, and then also your own resistance to necrotic damage, which I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, you are resistant to necrotic damage, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Wait, what is the kind of damage that I took?
Necrotic.
Oh, and that was it. Okay.
So yeah,
Yes.
so I've already reduced it for you with the thing you took. I rolled. So, that was her turn.
Sorry, another 13?
You took 13. I rolled 52 points of damage.
Wow.
Which is, if you think about it, it's 8d8, so the max of that's 64. I was rolling so high. And the mustache twins below are doing some good nodding at each other action. So Dr. Schlichter, based on dice rolls, you so far have not been the target of anything. So what would you like to do, my good man?
About how far away are the our foes right now?
They have both walked out of the library, and they seem to be both about 15 feet from you.
I think that are we aware that, well, I think Dr. Schlichter, knowing that he has his way with words, his way with people, being a psychiatrist and all, he thinks that he could get Stacy on his side once again.
Okay, sure.
So, my dear Stacy, I want to remind you that we here are your friends. Your friend Dylan here is someone that you have a long history with, and it is in your best interest to continue to support our endeavor to vanquish the librarian. Remember, your psychopathic tendencies are perfect for this moment here, so I command you to attack the librarian instead of us.
Make a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
So what does that get you to? What is your total?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is. Checks are not auto successes. However, that is very good, I'm sure.
That's 21.
A 21. Okay, very good. The minutia still kind of on fire, albeit a fire that for this past moment was not too hot, will sort of say, like, shh. She's under my control right now anyway. And you know, her kind of weird eyes behind there, but you've done that. Nevertheless, you notice that Minutia is now paying attention to you for trying to do this troubling stuff. The next person whose turn it is named Dahlia. So Dahlia, there is this massive hand, sort of next to you.
Okay. I have what may be an insane idea.
Well, I'm into it.
The librarian, do we have her name? I'm forgetting her name.
Minutia.
Minutia's the librarian. Wait, and it's Stacy who's the...
Stacy is the name you know for this necromancer, correct? And that is the one who's hit you with his giant skeleton hand. It actually, the skeleton hand is not 12 feet large. It's a skeletal hand that would belong to a 12-foot tall creature. I did misdescribe that. It's a large...
Okay.
Wait, no, the size of it is large. No, it's large. Never mind. Yes, it's like 10 to 12 feet. It's huge. It's big. Take it back. Reverse what I said. I was wrong. The hand itself is large.
Could I, crazy idea, disengage from hand and then attempt to use message on Stacy, mimicking the voice of the stone man?
You can absolutely do that with one slight issue. It is an action for you to do the message. So you won't be able to disengage.
Yeah. I'm not going to survive another round of that. All right. I am going to just try and use message on
All right.
Stacy.
So one of you is convinced Stacy. Now you are going to do this. Go ahead and say what you say and roll for this. I think it is a performance, not deception, because you are pretending to be someone else. And because of that, you do have advantage on this roll because of your actor feat.
Okay.
Which is, you're really trying to think like him.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to, as him, tell Stacy that I am observing her and that these humans are under my protection and she needs to protect them as well, or I'm going to be very angry with her.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your performance check.
Come on. That is a, what is my bonus? 23?
23.
Wait, hold on. And I have advantage. Right?
You have advantage. So you roll.
Well, yeah. Do I have advantage? Because I have an advantage on charisma and performance when I'm passing myself off as another person. Does that count for?
Yes, you were. This is literally the circumstance. So you have advantage.
All right, rolling
correct.
again. Okay, we're going with the 23.
Okay.
That was a 4.
So she stops what she's doing. I'm actually going to make her make a concentration check, because of like flabbergastedness to even keep her spell that she's thrown your way up. She does succeed on that, however. So it almost like wavers for a second, but she looks up. And she is this horrifying woman who used to be Stacy and is now someone else, is just beaming from ear to ear. She is so excited.
Uh-oh. I either did something really good or really bad.
So you have said they're under my protection, don't harm them. Great. Okay. Oksana, it is your turn.
Okay. I need to get away from Dahlia.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. Make a wisdom saving throw. That's the first thing that happens. I'm so sorry.
No!
Thank you for reminding me. Wisdom save.
I'm gonna die no matter what today.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Ah.
Hold on. 11.
Ooh.
No! Oh,
Can I have a
no.
spooky dice or something to add on to that? Do hero dice count? I never used those in the other one.
Well, if you really, really,
No.
really don't want to indulge in this, we might be able to work something out.
Think how good it'll taste.
No.
No? Okay, cool.
Why do I-
Well,
In that
no.
case, Lauren,
No. Wait.
the chance to stave off this blood.
I give a bardic inspiration.
Oh, you could have on your turn, but you didn't. And it was the time, too, because she's not far off from the DC. I'm even going to tell you that the DC is basically...
I'll
actually,
advance the clock. I'll advance the clock.
Advance the clock?
I'll advance the clock.
All right.
Love is going to destroy paradise.
Please.
Yeah, it always does.
You will advance the clock.
Oh,
Please
no.
roll for me a d6.
Oh no.
Sometimes
God.
the clock is just 1, but this is a big one.
6.
Oh.
No.
We are at 12, baby.
Oh, it's
Yes.
cold
this is so
and
bad.
lonely in the deep, dark night.
It's so
I
bad.
can see paradise by the dashboard light. Wow.
Oh no.
This is like the most epic death battle ever.
Oh no.
Y'all gonna die.
Wow.
Yes.
In addition, I have to make one other roll, in fact.
Oh, God.
To see if... Yeah, for sure. Cool.
I would do anything for love, but I won't not advance the clock to not do that.
No, this was a circumstance. You would do anything for love, but you won't do that. You won't drink Dahlia's blood.
won't
Dahlia,
do that.
I think that you see this animalistic, like, bloodlust and rage in Oksana's face for a moment, and it looks like she's going to, like, advance on you, but she manages to stay back. But all of you feel horror and dread just, like, mounting around you, and the sky is turning stormy once again. Plop, 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 plop. The rain is falling. You guys are in the rainy, you're in the stormy seasons here, my friends.
Oh no.
So Oksana, my dear.
Yes.
There is something else that happens at the start of your turn, by the way. I believe that you have some regeneration.
Oh, I do.
So please restore those, I guess, however many hit points that is for you.
Like, wait.
It'll be over there on the in your side features. It will tell you how many hit points you regain.
Regeneration provided she is consumed. I have consumed.
You've consumed blood.
So 10.
So you're only down by 3.
I'm good to go.
You're good to go. So basically, the necrotic damage that hag dealt you is sort of healing, and she does have this look on her face, and she's also looking at her person who's like laughing and looking crazy. I believe that Minutia around this point is beginning to think maybe things aren't going well for her. She's beginning to suspect there's some trouble.
Was
Oksana, it is your turn.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. So Minutia is casting the hand at Dahlia, correct?
No, Stacy is.
Stacy is, and I may have just made that worse.
Stacy is so excited about something, and I do think actually I'm gonna roll. Or actually, I'll just look at her thing. But yeah, go ahead. You basically get that Minutia is like, wait a second, and that rain. Minutia feels something's up. Stacy feels something is up. And you feel something very dark has happened, but you have beat back the hunger.
Of course. So this hand, do I sense that it is physical, or is it? Can I not?
Are you proficient in Arcana?
I am not. Athletics.
In that case, I'll let you make a. What is your passive perception?
It is 15.
15 is the spell save DC. I don't believe that Bigby's hand, it is shimmering and translucent. So yes, you can tell that it is not a physical hand. It has been conjured. It almost looked like a skeleton, a giant skeleton was like rising up out of the earth to sort of punch her, to sort of slash at her, but you can tell that it is not. It is not there.
I want to punch Stacy.
You want to go and punch Stacy.
Yes.
All right. You may run.
Kill her just to knock the sense back into her.
You are going to run over to Stacy. You're going to draw up for a blow, and she is going to just kind of look at you with this very casual look.
Shit.
She is a necromancer, and you are undead. So
I don't know what that means.
Well, you don't know, but basically she has some shenanigans with this. So you first have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, god damn it. 19.
19. Something is compelling you not to strike at her, but you push through that. Now please make your attack roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
Something about this woman is like, so you have to roll twice, use the lower roll.
Is it the one?
It is the one for claws.
Where is it? Oh, okay. 2. So.
Oh,
12.
12. A 12 sadly kind of shimmers off of her mage armor. Your claw cannot penetrate.
Ah, damn it.
Which is unfortunate. I also forgot about the Grim
Wait,
Harvest.
do I still have the boxing gloves on, though?
Yeah, but that should be baked into your advantage.
Oh, okay.
To your roll.
Just checking.
She also, you notice that Stacy, though she had taken some damage, is now completely fine. When she killed Sorrow, she got a Grim Harvest back. It's cool to be Stacy. I believe you do have 2 attacks per round, though. You can attack. You can try another one if you want.
I shall.
It is still at disadvantage.
That's fine. Okay.
I mean, it's not. It's a bit.
Oh! 21.
21's the low. Very good.
At disadvantage.
So even at disadvantage, you just focus. You're so worried about and you kind of bounce off, and she kind of laughs. This one hits. So go ahead and roll the damage for that claw attack, that unarmed strike that you have.
2d6 plus 5, so 12, 17.
Wow. 17. Wow. And that got her, and she kind of looks at you. She doesn't really seem to be hurt. She's hurt by it, but you clearly haven't, like, harmed her. She seems to have more hit points than you were ready for. But she doesn't even seem offended. She looks like... And then I'm going to let her make, because I'm a bad person, I'm going to let just her make a quick free insight check. Ooh, that is an 18 on the die, so she looks and goes, "Oh, you love her!
What? I never said that.
This place is amazing!" She has to make a concentration check to keep her skeletal hand up. She rolls, the DC for that was 20 or DC that was 10 because you were under 20 points, which gets her to an 18, and she does in fact maintain that. But now she's like, "This is so fun! Dylan, sweetie, this is such an interesting place. I am so excited to be here."
He's your friend.
Dylan, I never say this, but control your bitch.
Dylan, you are now up at initiative count 5.
Okay, so how far away is the nearest like corner I can run around or thing I can duck behind?
You can get that with a standard move action. Like, you don't have to dash or anything to put yourself like around a corner or hide out of sight.
Okay, great. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to I don't think I should use a full-on spell. I'm going to cast Firebolt at the librarian, and then I'm going to run.
Understood. Casting Firebolt at the librarian. So you pause and you let out this Firebolt, and suddenly you're basically shooting this rather than shooting the thing. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Oh no, that will not hit. I mean, my mod, that's not gonna hit. That was a 4 on the die. So
she kind of like bats that away slightly, but is looking and sort of like, so she's like, this one's the librarian Minutia feels that everyone's trouble. So actually, it's now, because of how you guys rolled, you're all clustered together, and now there are actually some people who are going to be going after you.
Well, I'm gonna run around the corner and get out of sight.
You'll run around the corner, get out of sight. Great. So Minutia is going to say, "Come and help me, please. Someone put me out." And this swarm, you hear flapping, and for a second you're like, is she summoning birds? Is she summoning bats? What she's summoning are books. Swarms of books, kind of like flying together in packs, fly out of the library, and they can't get too far, but she kind of is gesturing for a couple. One, she's just right at the door, so one comes and uses its action. The books are probably singeing a bit, but they put out the persistent fire on her. The next one cannot attack him this turn as well, but it basically goes and moves right in the space of Dr. Robert Schlichter.
Oh no.
The other, she gestures, kind of is going off in some direction, although Dylan has gone around a corner and is now unseen. But Dylan, you hear flapping kind of coming after you as you've done that. So that is where things are. We begin initiative once again with Stacy. Oh, Stacy, my girl. Stacy's like, I don't even know what to do. So he's gonna get mad if I kill any of you. And Oksana, you have no idea what that's about. And this one still thinks I'm charmed by her. And, but now he's making a good argument that I should probably kill her. So, boy, there's just, I mean, why not just do it all? So she is going to use, because here's the thing that makes Bigby's hand just so rough, because it is a bonus action.
Oh.
So she is going to, kind of looking over, she's actually, she looks at kind of the rough condition of people. She's going to look at Minutia, and she's just gonna toss a little chill touch her way. Just kind of casually, like, just chill touch this woman. It hits to the number.
Oh no.
So Minutia, who has very few hit points, is about to take 3d8 of necrotic damage. I roll 2 8s and a 1, so you see this, another little skeletal hand goes onto Minutia and kind of crunches into her as these books are putting her out. And Minutia no talking, and just kind of falls down dead. So Stacy kills Minutia.
Wow.
And Stacy goes, was that okay? And Dr. Robert Schlichter, this is what like books are like about to attack you. Was that good? Was that fine? And then she looks at you, Oksana, everything going well? And then she just kind of gestures like this with her hand.
No!
Dahlia. She's going to just plow into you with this spectral hand once again. Alrighty.
Oh well. Here's hoping she rolls well.
Does a 14 hit your armor class?
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
Dahlia, what is your armor class?
12.
So a 14 would hit anyway, because I forgot that you are not, I don't think bards are proficient. You do have that shield that you were given.
Oh, that's
but
right.
It only gives a +2 and only if you're proficient. I was going to let you make a check to try to have it apply, but unfortunately...
Proficient with my shield?
Well, yeah, shields require proficiency. Let's look up if bards have it. It is...
I think it's only Valor Bards.
Yeah, I think it's only Valor and maybe Sword Bards get it too. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you're going to be taking another 4d8 of that force damage. And this time I roll a little bit better. Dahlia, you take... that gets us 15, 20... Dahlia, you take 24 points of damage.
Yep. That's it for me.
So Dahlia. Now hold on, it's not it for you, because what is your max HP?
22.
And what is your current HP?
9.
So you are down, but you are not dead. You have been slapped by this thing, and she says, she kind of is calling out, Master Stoneman, is that one of the ones I'm not supposed to kill? Shall we show you how we do it in Ignador?
Can I respond to that? Or is that out of turn?
It will be out of turn. If you want to say something, you may. But you see this happen. You see her kind of going down over there. Dr. Schlichter, there are books that look like they're gonna hit you, but you just saw Dahlia fall, and you don't know if she's like if she's not dead already. She's in very bad shape.
I just begin to back away.
Are you actively disengaging, or are you just walking away from them? Like, are you like dodging and weaving and being actively disengaging, or are you just walking away from the books?
I mean, I'm a little bit hurt, so I'm kind of just backing away from the books, but I want to remain. So I'm not actively disengaging now.
You are not actively disengaging, so you're walking.
No. Just backing up, and I want to watch what happens.
So you walk away from the books, and they are going to, as you leave their reach, make an opportunity attack, because they're mean books. They were told. Okay, so the books do roll a 21 to hit.
Oh.
So
Great.
We're all gonna die tonight.
Here's
we all
the thing.
gonna die. TPK.
If I roll a 1 on this, they still do 2 points of damage.
TPK.
So I'm so sorry, Doctor. The books, in fact, roll the full 4. So these Dr. Schlichter's like, I don't want any trouble. You sort of start backing up. You know what? I'm going to give them disadvantage on it because the way you described it, I feel like, I don't know how well you understand the rule of op attacks, but I'm going to give them disadvantage because we'll say you were almost like half disengaging, okay? Yeah, there was a 17 on the die. These books, basically Dr. Schlichter dies from like a paper cut, effectively, as these books just slam around. Is there anything you'd like to say in your final moment, Dr. Schlichter?
Yeah, just kind of mutters to himself, today is as good as any day to die.
Oh, a very good point.
Dean Stovacor.
And just falls down. Dylan, you're probably like peeking around. You hear like fluttering stuff coming, but you're hearing that like people have fallen. Dahlia, it's your turn. Please make a death saving throw.
Just a straight D20.
Straight D20. If it is 10 or higher, you succeed. 9 or lower, you fail, and then a 1, 20, or 13 does something special.
And if it's 13, we're fucked.
We're massively fucked.
Somebody roll it. I don't want it. I don't want it. It'll come when
I
it
do
comes.
think it would be appropriate that like Dahlia died from a giant hand, like it's applauding her to death.
I live for the applause, applause, applause.
In this case, she dies for the applause. All right, here we go. 17.
1 success.
Ooh.
You are beginning to stabilize. Oksana,
Yes.
it is your turn. And this woman's just like, we'll show you how we do it in Ignador. That is what she said as you see Dahlia over there, kind of like, like coughing and on the cusp of death. And again, the blood is, it would be so good. You know it would be so good. Also, oh, wait, because of this, I'm actually gonna, hold on. Where's my golden,
Wait, what if I stabilize and you turn me?
there is a voice.
Bonds can't.
There is a voice in your head.
I thought about it.
And it says, where have you run off to, my little one? We're missing you, but it feels like you are getting some action in. Don't do anything to upset our stone friend, yeah?
Can I respond? Or is that an action?
It's not, it doesn't even seem like it's just like a voice. You're not sure, it doesn't seem like a sending, it just seems like some kind of connection, some kind of link. You can definitely respond if you want to, you're not sure anyone will hear you, but that's not an action, you can just sort of...
I won't respond to that, but, okay, if I say something while I attack, are those two separate actions?
So it's not an action to just say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will go for Stacy to punch her again.
Okay.
Saying, this stone man loved her.
Perfect. Okay, please first roll a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck! Why?
Because she's a necromancer. What do we got?
It's not a 13.
Okay, it's just
it is
low.
a 7.
A 7. So you try and you cannot use your action to attack her this turn. You just can't do it. You can, like, you're compelled not to, and you do feel. I'll just like Oksana, like, however, you're not, you know you can't attack her. You know you want to drink blood. You know someone's in your mind. You are being pulled in so many directions right now. It's awful.
Or Oksana.
But you cannot attack this person. Unlike protection from evil and good, you are not. That's a disadvantage. What's the? I know there's some spell that does this. What's the spell where it's a wisdom save to attack anyone?
Sanctuary?
Yes. So it's not like a sanctuary because I don't think you still have an action. You just cannot use your action to attack this target.
So it's held.
No, like you can do something. It's like you try to do it, you can't, but you still can try to do something else. You see books are, I guess there are books chasing down Dylan. There's books that are killing Robert Schlichter. Dahlia is over there on the ground.
I can't get near Dahlia. I'm gonna...
But are you sure you don't want to try to go over to Dahlia?
Shut
up! You could stabilize her. You could save her life.
No, I'm not gonna
Or
risk
drain
that.
me of my blood.
So if Dylan is being attacked, can I go and try to swipe away the...
Absolutely. You can rush towards those books and just try to attack them. Go for it.
Okay. And claws, I'm assuming?
This would be a claw attack, yeah. You can only bite things when you're already grappling them. So if you want to grapple the books and bite them, honestly, they seem like a construct. You don't think you can do that. So, but you will make an attack against these books.
18 plus 8.
You 20. Definitely, so you just like, you see these books are flapping, you run the 30 feet sort of towards them as far as they got, and you just start slashing into the books. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
2d6. Oh, that's not super great, but 9.
9 points of damage?
Yes. Sorry. I did my best, kid.
It's not...
I'm being pulled in so many ways.
Not bad. You do get a second attack.
Ooh!
You always get to attack 2. Only 1 can ever be a bite.
That was not good. 10 to hit.
A 10 does not hit these. Did you roll a 2?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you swing, and this time you cannot get them. Alrighty. Dylan, the villain. What would you like to do?
I'm not trying to be a bad guy.
Not bad, I'm just drawn that way.
You just brought this dangerous element into our group.
I mean, I think the dice and the Dreadstorm and the Dreadmaster brought this dangerous element into our.
The
group.
last one
What are you
cannot be
talking
blamed.
How many books are nearby me?
The books have not even reached you. They're about like 20 feet from you, and you see that like Oksana is like attacking these books now. Punch! Hey! Look over there! I didn't know you were such a nerd. You're over there hitting the books.
I'm gonna. I wanna. Do I get a sense of how fast these? Like, if I run away from the books, like at normal speed, do I think the books will be able to catch up to me?
The books seem to be moving about as fast as you are.
Okay, I'm just gonna run 30 feet more away from the books, and I'm going to I'm gonna try and hit one with a firebolt, and
You'll probably, I'll tell you, because you're kind of, you're trying to get to a corner. You can do this, but you're going to do that in the opposite order. So you'll take your shot.
No, because I can see that the librarian is dead, right?
You do see the librarian is dead.
So I'm not super concerned. I just want to get away from the books, and I still want to be able. At this point, I want to see what's going on.
Understood. So you're going to change your trajectory slightly. Go to the books. You'll take a shot on them. Go for it. Yeah. Roll your attack.
Oh, 13 on the die.
This is what we train for, people. Okay, so
we train for this? We trained for this, so
the first thing that happens is a dread storm is coming in.
Oh God. No.
What a beautiful, I see skies of hell, clouds of death.
Do I get a roll for this?
No, not a dread
storm. So first, please. So we're gonna do some sort of order operations. Please roll your damage.
7 fire damage.
7 fire damage. So the cool thing for you about books, what do you think they're vulnerable to there?
I'm guessing fire damage.
So with that, the entire just swarm of books catches ablaze. And Oksana, they looked like they were gonna turn to try to fight back at you, and then they're all burned to embers, and Dylan's standing there having shot this, and he's holding this thing, and his eye is a big gemstone, and it's kind of crazy.
That was really fucking cool, kid. Good job.
Thank you.
The next thing that happens is I'm just gonna roll over here. Wait, has anybody done the thing where they've spent all the channel points? I don't think anyone's done that yet.
How many?
If anybody has 50,000 channel points, you can just say that this is a horror surge.
Please don't. A dreadstorm and a horror surge together are very bad.
We're just gonna roll it. Give me a while.
Can we get Zane back in the game? Because if not, he's just gonna sit there. I would just like to say that
Zane will be in the game.
I'm chilling.
Boy.
The good news is there is no horror surge. However, my friends and
no horror surge.
There is a new domain of dread that is going to be entering. Now, typically, I've been rolling in such a way. I'm actually just going to ask you, the players, this.
Yes.
And I will say that strategically, it's rough. Would you prefer that I roll or that I have you roll only among the domains of dread that have yet to appear, or do you want to include the ones that have already come? Dan votes for only new.
Yeah, I like a little variety.
Like ones that have already come, meaning we open a second portal in them?
Could someone else from Ignador appear again?
Oh.
Yeah.
Could someone else from you want to keep it all?
I love a good cameo.
Okay. So we have 1 vote for no, 1 vote for yes. So Lauren says all, Dan says only new. Zane? You can also abstain if you don't care.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
Okay, cool. Dahlia, would you
vote
like
for him?
Do you want
We're
the
married.
whole...
I'll vote for him. All.
That's not how it works.
Sure, let's open the door to everyone.
Open the door to everything. Then, Dan, hit me with a D12, sir. It can't be... You can't open to paradise, but you can do a D12.
Real bad.
That's a 9.
We rolled a 9? No,
this
so
weekend,
bad.
when I was looking over the domains, I looked at this one and I said,
this is bad.
I wonder if I should take this out.
Dan.
And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have this in there. It's not even so much that it's like, well, it kind of is. It's gonna, And in the storm above,
oh no.
you all hear the strangest sound you've ever heard. As the kind of crashing rain, you then hear this this beam of light shines down. And you look up and you see this about, I think it's like 60 feet long. And it's like there's like a flash of lightning and you see it reflected in the cold metal of this saucer-shaped thing that is now shining from its central portal, a beam of light down amongst kind of whatever this chaos is. And the ship seems like it's like righting itself, like it's suddenly fluent. And those of you with passive perception / those of you who are, both of you have decent passives and you're both the only ones conscious. I mean, Dahlia, you're too busy, just whatever. You look up and it seems almost for a second that like beyond the clouds that it's parting through, you think you see this massive red orb with like rings around it, as if there is some other planet peeking, like a "Let the planet that I love shine through." Wow, guys. Wow. Oh man, I'm about to cry.
What planet?
As this happens, the world turns to slow motion. On the furthest edges of your eyes, you all see that there are gargoyles watching this event, trying to do something about it, but you hear this like voice booming from somewhere, just saying, "For crying out loud, you know I love you."
Oh no.
And I'm gonna need somebody to make me feel like you do. And I'm gonna need somebody with open arms, open eyes, open up the skies, let the planet that I love shine through. For crying out loud, you know I love you. All right. So, that happened. Dylan, that was your turn. That happened conveniently at the end of initiative. But yeah, go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah.
So technically I still have a bonus action.
You do.
At this point, I would like to look at Oksana, and I'm gonna look at Stacy. I'm gonna say, I am gonna have to. I think we should go, and I'm gonna cast Expedition Retreat, and I'm gonna run.
Cool. So you're gonna run. That's 60 feet immediately.
Well, so a 30 regular speed, and then bonus. Or so what is it? That's Jesus Christ, why did I close this out? I should have had this up.
It's a very complicated.
I think it's like when I cast it, and then again, each of my turns, I can use my bonus action to run an additional 30 feet, right? So, yeah, when I cast the spell, and then as a bonus action, each of my turns until the spell ends, I can use the dash as a bonus action. So yeah, so I have a total of 60 feet of movement this turn. Yeah.
You are out of there. Beautiful. Yeah. Right. Various awakened books are kind of slashing at people, doing this, that, God knows what. On her turn, Stacy, seeing all this, is going to say, you guys basically hear her like in like the distance as Stacy's just kind of going, "Oh, I think he's going to be so pissed." "Yes, welcome in, please, welcome to this wild little paradise." Oksana, I guess you're kind of looking back. Stacy seems to actually be kind of heading somewhere. Honestly, you see her starting to run, and then you see her like disappear. As this almost like gateway sort of opens, this kind of like it's like she's passing through a door. What is your passive perception? 6 to 15? You don't know where she ends up. She could be gone. But Stacy has she's like zooped away some large distance.
And where's the stone man?
You don't see the stone man, but you just heard his voice echoing.
Can I Are we still in initiative?
We are still in initiative. I'm just letting you know it's her turn right now. And in fact, speaking of the Stone Man, would anyone like to roll on behalf of our friendly neighborhood Stone Man for the battle for control right now? Dahlia, so you're going to roll. You get a plus against this one. I think you're just going to get ooh, fun. You are going to get a +2 bonus. You're going to roll at advantage. Who would like to roll on behalf of those who are coming from elsewhere? Who would like to roll on behalf of... Yeah, Zane, why don't you roll?
Zane.
Zane, you are going to be rolling on behalf of Veldiral.
Veldiral.
So please, so if both of you, so the Stone Man has advantage and a +2. Veldiral, it's a single roll and flat. Please roll. This is the first round of this Dreadstorm.
I rolled a 14 and a 16.
Beautiful.
18.
And 18.
No.
18 and 18?
This is not.
Wait, did you?
I don't know.
Wait, had you added your +2s yet?
Yeah. No. That was out my +2.
Okay, so
Sorry.
it's 18. Ooh, so it's holding, and in fact, there is some the storm is. There's stuff kind of coming down here, and you guys see a few more of those kind of moving down. In addition, the one that is overhead, glancing around kind of the exact area where it did, it's kind of looking around, scans will reveal, where's my most spacey die? It's this one. Ooh, scans are high. Oksana, a light sweeps over you, because kind of you were kind of closer back to where he was, where the light is, he's gone. A light sweeps over you, and then the light turns red. But then the saucer moves kind of about 30 feet, the light's still going, and it passes over the body of Dr. Schlichter, red, passes over the body of Minutia, red, passes over the body of Dahlia. And then, Oksana, you see Dahlia's body, and Dahlia, you're conscious for this, just beginning to raise up. She is about halfway up to this thing, being drawn up by some strange, attractive pulse. Cool. That is what the Dark Lords happens on the Dark Lord's turn. Dr. Schlichter is dead. I need Zane. Actually, could you go ahead and roll initiative for your new character?
Oh God.
Yes.
Whole game is going to be a combat.
11.
That's hilariously what your initiative was as Dr. Schlichter. So, at this point, I am going to say that, your character, we could, do you want to reveal the name now, or do we, shall we hold off on his actual name?
Reveal his name.
All right, cool. So,
His name is nuts.
Are you guys? What's funny is I thought this was going to be a really crazy thing tonight, and instead we had a Dreadstorm for fun. So, there is a figure watching all of this. A figure, sort of strangely statured, even more strange in its kind of visage, at least among you. Where he's from, he's very normal. But sort of Denk, as you look around, you have been watching all of this kind of from like beyond the hedge, as it were. You're just kind of peeking at this fight. You're on a fact-finding mission, as often happens, Denk. However, you suddenly have these odd memories sweeping over you. Please make a wisdom saving throw. You do have advantage on this because this is technically something that would frighten or charm you momentarily.
18 at advantage.
With an 18, Denk, you experience the death that you just watched. So through two eyes, you just watched a death. You experience it through other eyes from another perspective. You see yourself being killed by books. You then see yourself being, having your heart ripped out by a woman while you dance in your underwear. And you have this very strange skin. You see yourself killed by other vampires. You see yourself killed in all sorts of ways. But you have the presence of mind and you have the expertise in certain matters to understand that you're witnessing, you understand that you are witnessing other people's demises. Something is sharing with you, but now you know some things they know. So Denk, all of that in mind, You see this boy running. He was the one who was doing all this fire stuff. You remember he was an ally, a young man named Dylan. You know that this woman is some kind of undead vampire. She was an ally. The other spellcaster, you saw her, she must have just done a spell away. What would you like to do right now, Denk?
And how far away is Dylan from me?
Dylan has put, you know what, let's say for the ease of whatever, Dylan is running really fast. Dylan is, we'll say you were kind of in the direction Dylan was running, so Dylan's about like 30 feet from you. You were watching from the direction Dylan is now fleeing.
Dylan, it is I, Denk the Chosen.
And, Dylan.
11D.
And oh my god, I should have had this ready to go, and I just didn't. Dylan, what you see walking up to you is a bipedal fish person, but the fish head is the top half of the body. It is a purple-skinned, strange creature. And for those of you who have not seen my favorite of all of the D&D humanoids, this is what you see. It's just this massive headed fish thing walking up to you saying, Dylan, Dylan, I am Denk the Chosen.
Dylan, it is I, Denk the Chosen. Do you remember me? I remember you.
I mean, am I able to respond now, or?
You can say something. Yeah, you can kind of say something off turn real quick.
I don't know you.
I have just died. Once again, 11D7. Denk.
What?
Kavia the Perpetual Spawn? No. From the Grave Marshes? No.
This whole little exchange here is basically Dylan rounding a corner like what? So you sort of, that's as much as you kind of say freely on your turn. Is there anything you're gonna do? You've moved a little towards him. Any action you want to undertake? Anything you want to do?
Was that to me or to Dylan?
Sorry, that is to you, Denk. It is technically Denk's turn here.
I tried to grab Dylan. Am I close enough to grab him? I don't.
Dylan's 30 feet, so if you use your movement, you can go to Denk. Denk can go to Dylan, because he was kind of unbeknownst to him running towards this fish man. So yes, you want to try to grab. You want to grapple him, hold him in place.
Yes.
All
and
right.
Just look deeply into his eyes.
Go ahead and make a. So you need to make an athletics check. Dylan, you can do athletics or acrobatics to try to get.
I will be making an acrobatics check.
Understood.
Sure. Ah, no, 13 for 17.
Oh, shit. It's a 2 for me, so.
Good thing I can run as soon as this horror surge happens.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
What a weird game.
Not, under no circumstances, did I think that this encounter was going to turn into fish people and aliens.
This has taken a turn.
I mean, it
Absolutely.
is horrific. It is kind of like it is all over the place. But yes, so he tries to grab you, and unfortunately for the Kuatoa, if anyone is ever grappling a Kuatoa, he has advantage to get out because he's slippery, but it doesn't help him hold on to you. So Dylan, this fish person who says he knows you, tries to grab you, 11d7, but you just run way the hell past him. Oh, also, forgive me.
Yeah, we
have to roll
yeah.
search. Oh my god.
I love this game so much. No.
You see it? I know it's so hard to see it on the thing.
Not really.
It's a Y. It's on the Y.
So now we have a horror surge?
There is a horror surge, friends. See the Y? There's the Y. Beautiful, beautiful.
I cannot with this game tonight. How are we having a horror surge too?
Happy Halloween.
You know.
Halloween anymore.
Dan, my boy.
You know what?
I am delivering nothing but sweet
Dan,
goodness
please
for you,
roll a
Philip.
d20. If you roll anything 14 through 20, re-roll. If you roll a 13, it's gonna get really bad because
I know you. I remember you texted me after the last time I rolled a 13. We rolled a 13 on horse, saying that last 13 was bad, but what I replaced it with is
what I've
worse.
replaced it with will is so bad for everyone.
That was 18. I'm gonna re-roll.
Re-roll.
True.
That's an 11.
Woo.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. I've never. This is one of those things where you've rolled a relatively. I mean, it's a CR, whatever. This is interesting because one of these is not a problem, but I'll bet a bunch of them are a problem.
Man. Fuck me.
So basically, I guess I will, before you know what it is. You know what? No, you guys have already advanced the clock for shenanigans. It's so early now. This is happening. This horror surge. It is the hour is 1 and this is going down.
Oh my God.
So
bad.
Suddenly,
Goodbye, Dank.
It's been interesting.
What was this even against? Why did you roll it?
This was
What was this?
Oh, this was on the grapple check. Right?
This was the grapple.
This was him trying to
You
grapple.
rolled a 13 for a 17, so he tries to
Yeah.
grab you. Can't even do it. God, so much fucking stuff is going on. We're in the middle of we're in the middle of a dread storm. A horror surge is happening.
We
and,
lost Dahlia.
She's still halfway. She's in the air. You can see her right
No,
now.
I know, but she's not like ready to fight.
No, I can't do anything. I am suspended in the air.
Honestly, that's
Space-
probably better
Space
for her than
Daddy
getting
got
taken to the ship.
Space Daddy has come in and saved me, I guess.
That is not an accurate assessment, guys.
That's what? That's not an accurate assessment?
And they come directly after Denk's turn. That's fantastic.
Oh, no.
So, Denk, you run over there, you try to grab him. Dylan has kind of but he's able to get past. But then, both of you just kind of hear, and you guys look down, and standing at your feet are 2 of these.
Oh no! Right on our
And
feet.
you see that there seem to be a few of them just around. Now, these guys look like they don't have many hit points. They're pretty wimpy. They're pretty little, whatever.
But there's like 13 of them.
But there's going to be 13. Right now, they're kind of coming in waves. So there's a couple near you, a couple near, kind of like a couple of kind of in this general area, like they see Oksana. But they sort of just look around like, back. And one of them turns invisible.
Oh.
The other one with you kind of looks at both of you, and he's going to do even, Dylan, odds, Dr. Schlichter. And he is going, or not Dr. Schlichter, Denk. He is going for Denk. And he just rushes over and goes, and he's going to try to attack you. Does an 8 hit Denk's armor class?
No.
Good for Denk.
Good for Dank.
All right. So that is their turn, but one of them is like, beautiful. Okay. It is still the turn of one other one in wave 1 that is just going to attack you, Oksana, just for the heck of it. Oksana, does a 9 hit your armor class?
No.
So you see this little horned thing is attacking you. And Oksana, you also see there's a couple more of these things like around, but one other one is looking up at Dahlia's kind of like half prone body as she's like barely on the cusp of living, and it just goes, and you watch it turn into a bat, and it starts flying up towards her, ending its turn at her as a little bat, as a little like.
It's okay. Next turn she'll get taken into the ship. It's fine.
Well, we'll see. Speaking of Dahlia's turn, Dahlia, it is your
Yeah.
turn. Please make me a second death saving throw.
Oh boy. Alright, here we go.
Here's a 13.
No, I
Stop,
don't.
Dan.
Actually, good. If he says it, it won't happen. So fine, say it. Say it.
13. It's gonna be
Say it all
13.
you want. If you say it ain't gonna happen. 20.
Natural 20?
Oh!
Dahlia, at the start of your turn, that it's going to be hard for us to ever see anything on that die.
I know.
Dahlia, at the start of your turn,
Yes.
you regain 1 hit point.
Okay. If I make it that long.
It started your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh.
You seem to be being pulled up by something, and you saw this happening. There's this like thing, and there's like a white light opening, and for a second, maybe you're like, is this it? But there's this little bat next to you, but its face looks like that little monster I showed you. Like it's a bat, but its head is like, It's got little horns on it.
No.
What would you like to do?
Well, I can't do anything to go towards the light, right?
You want to go up towards the light?
Is that there's a way for me to do that?
There is a way for you to do that.
Would it get me away from the bat thing?
You are being drawn up. If you want to increase your speed up, you think that might do it, but the bat might be able to like attack you as you go.
No, okay. All right. Can I attack the bat?
Absolutely, you can attack the bat.
My weapons? What do I even have? I don't know.
You have your sword. You could just kind of like slash at the bat. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, there's my weapons. I was like, where did they go? There's my short sword.
Or you could just insult it.
I could just insult the bat. I think we'll use the sword. Okay.
Sword's probably your better chance.
That's 9.
9. Your sword is unable to. It's like pulling it out. It's like too awkward as you try to attack it, and it's just like pap, 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 pap. But you are alive, Dahlia. Wow. Oksana, there's a couple of these little things around you. You're hearing some cries up there, and maybe you're now seeing that Oksana seems to be moving, but she's about like 40 feet up in the air. Then you see that Dylan has run, and now there's a strange fish-like thing grabbing him, and now they're being attacked by these other things by you. What would you like to do?
Where are the little demon things?
There's like one right by you, a couple over. Basically, all of you have one on you right now, but you see that like there's more coming towards all of you, kind of from the shadows. They're kind of coming in waves.
I will. Can I go toward the ones who are coming in the next wave and just like sweep a punch?
You can attack multiples if you want to, but I mean,
I would like.
Really, you're gonna have to attack one each time, but you have your big thing. But there's two like right on you.
Okay, I'll take those two.
Cool. Make your attack rolls.
18 plus 8. 26.
26 does hit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
And then 10 for the other one.
The 10 does not hit, but the one that hits, how much damage do you do?
7 plus.
We should have done Bardic Inspiration.
12.
12. You hit this thing and like every bone in its body just like breaks. And it's like, and just falls down. And the other one looks up at you like, but you take one out, no problem. So now there's only 4 in that wave. Okay, that is Oksana's turn. Any movement?
I would like to move under the beam that's taking.
You'll run over to the beam. Okay.
Dahlia. Yeah.
The one who's on you is going to op attack you as you leave its reach. 8 probably doesn't hit your AC. I cannot roll for these little guys. This might be the horror surge where you guys manage to just kill all of them. Because none of them have any hit points. So you rush over to those little dudes. And you get under the beam. That'll kind of end your turn. You're sort of... Actually, wait, what's your movement?
It is...
I think your movement's just 30. Is your movement 40?
How do I find that? Hold on.
It should be at the top of your sheet.
I don't
Speed?
see it. Oh, speed.
Sorry.
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, yeah, so you actually cannot make it. You're running towards the light, but you're not in it yet. That is Oksana. Dylan, your turn. There's a fish man near you. There are weird little creatures popping up. One disappeared from sight. Others are coming up from God knows where.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at the fish man and I'm gonna say, if you're one of us, then I'll see you like this or like different, and then I'm gonna disengage and I'm gonna double sprint.
Disengage, double sprint. You're just running away. Understood,
Yeah.
Dylan. Very good. The animated books at this point are no longer a threat in this fight. They're just like, whatever. A woman is doing something. Her name may be Stacy or Stremzaz. We don't have to worry about it. She's great. So now, Liv, if you could roll 2 d20s at advantage and add a +2, you're rolling on behalf of our stone man once again. Zane, if you will roll 1 d20, you're rolling on behalf of what comes.
Oh boy. You know, I'm sad that my other dice are upstairs because I have like stone ones that would be good for rolling.
Though, yeah.
Oh, that was a crit fail.
Wow.
18.
18 again.
17.
Ooh.
Guys. We have a tie and no, it was a tie the first round, and now this is the stone man is really distracted by what's happening. Something about these vessels up above seem to be intensifying. And at this point, the ground below you is... something is happening. The ground below you is changing. The terrain is becoming a little more sere, a little more rocky, almost powdery. You see these like craters kind of rising up, as if some little area of paradise. And the library itself is kind of just like crumbling down as some sort of terraforming process is occurring. Dank, it is your turn. One of these things attacked you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I know I have create or destroy water.
You do.
About how much water can I create?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have shared that with you. It is, you can create a fair bit of water, honestly. You can create, a 30-foot cube of rain that will just like fall as rain instantaneously. It's already raining. You could alternately, basically you can make 10 gallons either like all at once, you can make it as like a rain, but you kind of need that, the 10 gallons you need it to be in a container.
So it's not enough for me to like be inside of. 10 gallons.
10 gallons would be hard for you to fit inside of, but
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, this creature that's next to me, I'm just going to bite it.
Great. You just reach down to bite this little guy.
Mm-hmm. So I rolled a 19 and then +4.
You hit very well.
D4.
Okay, so it's a D4 plus whatever your modifier is.
6.
6. So good thing for you. You can feel as you start biting into it that this thing seems almost like magically enhanced against destruction. As if like it's resistant to non-magical damage, but it also only has 3 hit points. So you chomp right through it. And now there are only 3 left of wave 1.
Delicious. Delicious.
Speaking of which, let me roll for wave 2. There's no point in waves if I always roll the same stuff. Speaking of which, one invisible Quasit who was hiding is going to attack you at advantage as it invisibly just like jumps out at you and also tries to claw at you. Jesus Christ. Okay, that one will hit with an 18. So, Denk the Chosen, you are yourself going to take you're going to take 7 points of piercing damage as this thing just claws into you, kind of just scales on scale violence. But I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, friend.
Oh.
7.
You're going to take 2d4 poison damage, and you will be poisoned for a minute.
No.
How many hit points do you have left, Denk?
I have 3 left.
You take 4.
Oh, shit.
So Denk takes this poison, and it's like, ugh, and you fall down as this little thing just like greedily climbs on top of you. Like,
I'm going to lose 2 characters.
It is rare, I will tell you this, it is rare company to be in if you could lose 2 characters in a day.
Yeah.
Not many people have managed to do that. It's an impressive thing.
Is that only Andrew who's done that?
Well, Pierce did,
Pierce.
in the that one almost doesn't count. In the dungeon run, Pierce died 4 times.
Yeah, that one doesn't count.
I mean, it counts, but
Well,
So I'm doing pretty good then.
you're doing great. However, you're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Until these things start eating you on the ground, but we'll get to that. So you fall and you're just like, all right. That's a rough turn for Dank. However, I rolled just at the same point in initiative. It's supposed to be waves, but the waves are just all coming together. So, Dylan, one pops up near you. This is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. It deals you 5 points of damage.
I'm unconscious.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this? Before I roll this, I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is all. Is this all part of the same incidence of damage?
Yes, but you don't even take.
Fuck.
What'd you roll?
That's a modified 3.
Okay, so you are poisoned. So for if you're able to get out of it, whatever, you're fine. Okay. Actually, the bat one is going to bite you, Dahlia, just to be a dick.
Just to be a dick. Damn it.
Does a 12 hit your armor class?
That is my armor class.
All right, Dahlia, you have a shield with you. You're also held in this thing. At disadvantage, I'm going to allow you to attempt an athletics check to, like, interpose the shield somehow as a reaction. This is your reaction in case you need one for later. I'm going to let you do that because you do have a magic shield that no one seemed too interested in.
It's an athletics check?
It is an athletics check at disadvantage because you're also, like, technically restrained and grappled. But you give it a shot. DC's only 10.
I seem to min-max on these rolls, so here we go. That's a 10.
Okay. But it is disadvantage.
It is disadvantage, so... I rolled another 10.
10 is what you needed. 10 was the
Holy
DC.
shit.
So you managed to just, at the like the little claws kind of coming off of this bat are slashing, and you just get the shield, and like you can feel like the claws like digging into your finger, but it's not taking any actual damage as it's trying to get you.
Okay.
Okay. But then from below, you hear another little voice, and then a weird magic sound, and another one of the, oh shoot. I did this all wrong. I'm so sorry.
No!
We're gonna back this up now. So basically this was happening on this turn, but I am having them move on the Dark Lord's turns. Tell you what, we'll say they're 120 up. So you and the bat have gone up another 40 feet, but you hear there's another bat coming up to you, but you are now almost inside. Like the thing is opened, you're almost to it, you're not quite in it yet. This bat is coming for you.
Daddy, take me.
All right. Any other quads? It's one more does attack Oksana, who kind of popped up there. A 10 does not hit Oksana. There's 4 in this wave, so I've done 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1 is going to come over to Schlichter. Or, sorry, damn it, to Dank. Dank, I'm really sorry. This is really sad. I was so excited for you to be Dank, and then a horror surge happened. I thought Schlichter would die in combat, and nothing would go on, and now it's like... A natural 1. A natural 1, Dank. This thing tries to attack you. I'll say that you weren't even prone yet. You were still falling. This thing tries to get you and misses as you fall out of its reach. So nice. You don't have any fails yet. Good Dink, my boy. That is all of them of this 4. Oksana, it is your turn.
So I am near the beam.
You're just at the bottom of the beam, correct.
Are there any of the beasts that are near me?
There are a couple. Oh, actually, yeah. If one just attacked you and missed, like another one like ran up to you and attacked. There's a couple more. Yeah, there's like a few of them around you.
I will attack as many as possible near me.
Okay, just make 2 attacks.
Okay. 9.
Misses.
15.
15 hits. Also, was the 9 a natural 1?
Yes.
So that always misses, just so you know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Sorry.
even have to say it, just it's a crit. Yeah, you couldn't hit one, but you managed to slash another on the back end. And what's the minimum amount of damage you can do? It's like 6, right? If you roll a 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to roll these because you do magic damage because you have that stupid +1 thing. So you don't have to roll. You just, every time you hit, you kill. So you managed to kill 1. That's your action.
Okay.
Are you gonna keep moving, or are you just gonna take these guys out?
I will take them out.
Okay, cool. So you're just staying here, like, bring it on, you little idiots. And
Yes.
if they had any brains, they would know to leave you, but they don't. Dylan.
Ah! Let's make that death save, I guess. Which one? I mean, this.
Oh, Dylan.
What do we got, buddy?
That's a 6.
6?
So just a regular roll fail, although about to get killed.
Your eyes, your one eye, your good eye is kind of like blurry. Your other eye is, you're seeing red. Dylan, please roll for me a D10. And I'm gonna roll a dex save for these little dudes.
2. That's a 2. Jesus Christ.
2. So you do see, you feel like fire pulsing. You feel like you're, as you're like fading out of living, you do feel like burning on your cheek, kind of the way you did when you shot the fire. And you hear one of these things yelp. It doesn't seem like it harmed it all that much. And actually at that point, yeah, she will,
Really good idea.
Dylan, you kind of see a woman in black kind of like standing over you. And just, she's like, "You're not very good at this, darling." And she's going to, I don't think she really has she doesn't have a good area of effect left on these guys. So she's just gonna start, she's just popping these little monsters. Like, she takes just kind of, the one that was attacking you is gone. The other one's like still on fire. It still will take fire damage at the start of its turn because it failed. But she's over you like, great. So Liv, can you roll 2? Can you roll at advantage with a +2? Zane, roll not at advantage, just a flat roll.
Stone Man time.
If Zane wins this, it's gonna be trouble.
First.
Yeah, you save it, Zane, for drama.
16.
16, Zane.
16.
Double tie, and the only win is for the invaders. Wow. Okay.
How is this game happening tonight?
All right.
What?
So things are taking a hard new turn in a very exciting way. Okay. So.
Oh my god.
No.
And you hear the you hear this cry from the stone man. This just absolute cry of rage. The woman over you, Dylan, as you're like, again, just totally on the edge of consciousness. And she's just like, well, oh, he's so mad. We started it. How have fun. Oh, this is wild. You just again hear, for crying out loud, you know I love you. There's another quiet sort of pausing moment here. Oksana, you are just like hacking into these things. Dylan, you're bleeding out. The same is true for Denk. Dahlia, you're finally being raised up into the light. And you see there is this figure sort of standing there in the light. It's like totally silhouetted. It seems bipedal. And as you hear this kind of singing around this, you all hear the voice of the stone man, or maybe Bale, singing. I was lost till you were found, and I never knew how far down I was falling before I reached the bottom. I was cold and you were fire, and I never knew how the pyre could be burning on the edge of the ice field. Oksana slashing down, this woman just cackling over Dylan's body, these things looming over Dylan. And Denk and Dahlia, you see this light kind of coming up. And now and the voice continues singing, and now the chilly California wind is blowing down our bodies again, and we're sinking deeper and deeper into the chilly California sand. Oh, I know you belong inside my aching heart, and can't you see my faded Levi's bursting apart? And can't you hear me? And don't you hear me crying, oh babe, don't go? And don't you hear me screaming? And then you hear, it's like the world pauses for this one moment. These gargoyles on the edges playing. The stone man understanding that he's lost something, and yet he's not necessarily upset about it. He's almost resigned to it. And he screams, how was I to know? Dahlia, this figure that sort of like appears to be like waiting you, like above. As you get closer, you see something almost like moving as the light is shining on its face. These tendrils, these almost tentacles out of its face. And as it kind of like brings you up into its ship, this tentacle-faced creature, you have this moment of horror as you see it. As it just sort of steps towards you, out of the light. The dreadstorm comes to an end, but it is still raining hard. Denk, it is your turn. Please make a death saving throw.
I'm gonna take a deep breath for a second. Okay.
I'm stressed.
So, like, when you roll a 13, like on a death saving throw, what happens?
So I actually do not have a special effect for it. I just think it's fun to do. We got an X, not a Y or a Z, so close to yet another one. But we will advance. I hope that we can somehow get the dread clock to 6 so that we're back where we started for the day. So yes, that was one from Zane. Wonderful. Wow. Great.
Wow.
So Denk, you are, however, count that as one success. We'll keep track of this. So just like jot down a piece of paper, you have one success, one failure. Quasits are going to do some stuff now. All right.
Oh no.
So Denk, one Quasit is going to attack you. This is at advantage because you're on the ground, but that won't hit your armor class. That's actually absurd. Your armor class is what? Is 12?
11.
It's 11. Okay, one of them does hit. So take 2 fails as one of these things does attack you. The other doesn't. Oksana, you're just going to get struck 4 times. What's your AC?
15.
1 manages to hit you. That deals you 6 points of damage. Are you immune to being poisoned? I think you are. Actually, vampires are not.
No.
I think among undead.
Chronic bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Cool. Then make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. 16.
16. You are not poisoned. You don't take any extra poison damage.
Okay, so just 6.
So just the 6, and then that one also doesn't hit you. Man, these guys cannot hit you. Dahlia, I'm gonna read a roll for these clowns. Do any of them attack you, or are they gonna are these bats gonna be like, wait, what? No, we're not going in there. They actually roll very high, so the bats peel off of you, Dahlia. Technically, you do get an attack of opportunity as they leave your area if you want to attack the one who is on you with your sword. If you want. Oh no, wait. We said you used your reaction to shield yourself.
Yeah.
So never mind. You can't do that. Okay, cool. So you see it fly away. Quasits. Now the interesting thing is, Dylan, you see a couple climbing onto you. And then in a language you don't speak Abyssal or anything, do you?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. So in a language you don't understand, Stremza speaks to these creatures. There's almost like a laugh in her voice. And they all reply, okay. Even the one who's kind of on fire. Oh, speaking of that, roll a d10. 7. The one who is on fire has roasted from your eye. The others, though, they seem to be backing off of you. And Oksana, it's your turn. You see that she has disappeared into the thing above. Dylan and that fish thing are both down, surrounded by the monsters. You kind of see that the woman, the spellcaster, is over by.
I didn't miss a turn, did I?
Dahlia, I'm so sorry. You do go right now. I am so sorry. You go. Okay. Yeah, you go before Oksana. You're 8. Dahlia, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Can I cast Bardic Inspiration on Oksana?
Ooh, what is the range of Bardic Inspiration?
Oh,
I think you may be too far.
No.
Very sorry to say. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, what's the difference at this point? If you want to just advance this by 1, no roll, but by 1, we'll advance it, and you can extend it for one last thing as the doors close behind you. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to do this because I want to inspire her with a song.
Okay.
Oh.
And I'm just going to start singing out I've Had the Time of My Life.
Oh, man. Yes, you do get a Bardic Inspiration.
I feel like that
negates my heart will go on.
Going forward.
It was going to be My Heart Will Go On, but I realized that was in the 90s, so it would be too far in the future for this. So instead it's going to be I've Had the Time
also,
of My Life.
Kind of insensitive to someone who doesn't have a heartbeat anymore.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, my heart will go on.
I understand the sentiment, so it's
I'm trying
either
to
way.
inspire her to live on without me, because I am going into the light, man.
You're going up into the light.
And God
always
is a
wanted to
terrifying
live-
monster.
She wanted to live in the spotlight, so, you know.
Oh, boy.
I did want to live and die in the spotlight.
So I'm going to say that by doing that, you are able to, you hear her sing that, and then you get that inspiration. You get that one last thing that'll last for 10 minutes, a d6 you can add to any d20 roll, but then the doors of that ship close and the light is out.
Can I sense who is the most...
But actually, Dahlia, your turn is not over.
Oh!
That was just your bonus action.
Oh, that's true. Well, but now I'm in.
You're floating in the ship. You're kind of just floating there in front of this thing who's walking towards you.
Can I attempt to speak to it?
Absolutely.
And say, who are you? Are you here to help?
It will reply in a sort of totally... Wait, what languages do you speak?
I don't think I speak. Celestial, Infernal, Draconic, and Sylvan.
Okay. So in this, like, completely unintelligible kind of, like, out loud, kind of just... But you kind of, like, feel then in your mind a telepathic thing sort of saying... Curious. This orb seems to have intelligent life of a strange variety. Do you wish to aid us in our understanding?
What do you need from me?
Its tentacles just move forward and begin to caress around your face.
Oh.
Do you resist?
Yeah, I would probably.
In that case, as you pull back, it kind of like the tentacles suddenly like strike out, and they are going to attempt to sort of like grapple upon you.
Oh god.
That is an 18 to hit. They're not doing any damage, but they have just like. However, you do have to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, here we go. 10.
You, like, something about, like, the psychic power of this thing just freezes you in place, Dahlia. You are stunned. You are, like, you cannot, like, you're just, like, completely, like, held in place as this alien thing. And there's something, like, like, these tentacles kind of, like, all over, kind of just probing. But you do notice that they all seem to be, like, much more particularly sort of, like, wrapping around the top of your skull like this. One of them in particular, very strong, just kind of, as it's kind of moved forward. Great.
Great.
That was happening. Anyway, Oksana, you're down there.
Okay. Like, none of the little shits are near me, right? Like.
Yeah, there's several near you still. Or there's actually no,
God.
you've taken out once. There's 2 left by you. Speaking of which, they get another round. Oh God, they're all there. They're literally the I've rolled at different numbers. They're all between Oksana and Dylan. It's crazy. Where are these?
I will attack the 2 nearest me.
Okay, go ahead.
15.
Hits. So that one's
Okay.
dead.
And a nat 1. So.
That one's not dead.
Well,
All right.
You know.
Cool. Tight. They all do get to go now. So Dank one more is
I
gonna
didn't
try.
roll my damage.
You don't have to. You kill them automatically.
Oh,
that's what we
okay.
said. That's the minimum damage you can do kills them. They have 3 hit points. Dank, I am really sorry to tell you.
No. Zane.
They rip you up, buddy.
He was so excited.
Do I get any last,
Of course.
thoughts or words?
Absolutely.
Bring my body to the grave marshes.
I'll tell you what. Do you call out in that moment to any entities or spirits?
I mean, I'm always, because I'm one with Kavia, I'm always calling out
All right.
to her.
I want you in that case to make either a religion or just persuasion check.
Hmm.
So you call out to the perpetual spawn.
Yeah, it's more of a thought, because, you don't have to really call out.
Well,
to
hi,
the-
pun scum.
You're like, put my body in the grave marshes.
Well, so that would be a 5.
Oh.
As you try to call out or as you try to say that prayer, one of these little things just goes, and kind of like closes your giant fish mouth using 2 hands and then snaps your neck.
I would like to describe my body.
Sure.
It looks like a piece of like old food on the ground with a bunch of ants on it. And that's how I want to be remembered.
I really feel bad for Dank.
Dank.
I should feel bad for Dahlia, but I feel bad for everyone.
Dahlia's been around for a while. She had a good run.
Dylan, you hear
On the other
various
hand-
you hear these quasits kind of like giggling around you. But Dylan, you need to make a death save. And she kind of leans down and says, "You can do it."
9.
That's
2 fails.
that's really bleeding now. Yeah. She's just kind of over you like, "Come on. You have to want it, darling."
Uh-oh.
She's bad. It's her turn. She's gonna consider like trying to like stabilize you with a medicine check, but then let him try. The rain's falling. She's like, you're an eye of fire, aren't you? Don't you want to play with your new staff? Your new little stick? Boys love playing with their sticks, don't they? Don't you want to live? All right. Technically, the thing where the thing wrapped around your head, that is happening right now in initiative. But because you're stunned, Dahlia.
Yep.
This thing is going to try to extract your brain.
Cool.
However, oh no, it is that you're incapacitated, so it does have an advantage. Yeah. with a 16 just kind of, you feel it in, and it's the most painful sensation as it's digging into your skull.
No.
You do take...
Not the face.
You do take 10d10. Now, you currently have 1 hit point and your max is 20?
22.
Okay. So I'll roll this until it, because theoretically if I rolled all ones, it wouldn't happen. Nope, I rolled 20, I'd rolled 23 points on the first 3 dice, a 10, a 9, and a 4. So, Dahlia, this thing extracts your brain from your head. You know nothing else. The rest of you, well, you know nothing else for a while. Ordinarily, mind flayers eat the brains, but this one was getting it for a different reason entirely. So,
Why?
What is it doing with my brain?
Dahlia's out. Oksana, it's your turn.
No.
Do I have a sense of what's happening, or do I not have a clue?
You don't have a clue.
I will just continue railing on these little shits.
Take 2 more attacks.
Okay.
There's still 9 of them left in total.
14.
That hits. 1 dead.
And then 13.
That hits as well. All right, there you go. So you're...
Wait.
Philip.
Oh, nat 13?
Yeah.
Well, that gets you to higher then, but beautiful. Alrighty. Guys, we can get 2 more before... Honestly, I think this session's pretty... This is a rough situation. I will say at this point, aside from... So Dylan is currently the only living person on the screen. Everyone else is dead one way or another.
Yep.
Okay, so now I get to roll this. Guys, this has been a full evening, I have to say.
Quite a lot of excitement.
It is not a Z, but it is on the E next to the Z. Do you see how close that is to a Z?
Yes.
But not it.
Not
Would have
it.
been an easy way to go.
That was really good. I'm gonna tell you something. That was really good.
Thank you. Philip, I know you appreciate that if no one else here does.
I'm so happy. I'm happy for whatever. That's my thing. You know, you can see how bad things can go in life and or D&D. Now, Oksana, this is your turn. Dylan, it comes to you again.
Okay, so
She's rooting
here's what
for you.
I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to be rolling. This is my Critical Role Pike Trickfoot D20.
Okay.
So if I die here, this is Ashley Johnson's fault.
Fair enough.
Bye. Goodbye, young
You
friends.
see
I
this
did
like very disappointed
everything.
look on her face. She's like, "Oh, that is a shame. Still, well," and you kind of hear nothing else. Oh boy, this is a situation. Oksana, I'm not going to roll through you attacking these things. You kill all of them.
Yes.
You look over and you see the woman kind of, actually she looks like Stacy again. Although right now she's collecting a book and a staff. She's kind of gathering that all up in an interesting way. And well, she doesn't care about the sword. She does. It's a cool thing, but that's not like one of her key things. She's gathering this book and this staff, and they both kind of disappear, and she looks like her little perky self in the poodle skirt. You see that Dylan is dead at her feet. You see that fish creature is dead over there. Dahlia has gone up into that thing, which is oddly now beginning to like circle like a slightly larger area, and it's kind of coming to rest over where the library once stood. It is now like a rocky outcropping. She's just looking at her book for a few moments.
I will not say anything to her,
Mm-hmm.
and I will venture back. I will begin to make my way back to Etienne.
You go to Etienne. Very interesting. We have an interesting situation going on in this game. First of all, this was like the fact that there was a Dreadstorm and a Horror Surge tonight.
Sorry, y'all.
Like I really thought Dylan with Expedition Retreat was going to get away. I thought Denk was going to come in and be a very interesting character. I thought I thought Dahlia, like, I thought Dahlia, like, might be in trouble, but I mean, there were so many of you, and when it's a vampire, it's fine, and instead, oh boy. So we have an interesting situation here. So Dylan, you're dead as well. I don't know if, Dan, I don't know if you also do the black and white thing when you die.
I don't have, my thing doesn't, for some reason my Zoom doesn't have that.
All good.
So.
Filter option?
So at this point, you begin going back to Etienne. But Oksana, you do feel a pull once again. I hear you out there, missing little one. Come to us. There's much to discuss.
Uh-oh.
You do not have to listen to it, but if you would like to, you could make a wisdom saving throw if you want to resist.
I'll just go. I'll go to it.
You'll go to it.
She doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Oksana is.
Oksana goes to the thing.
Yeah.
Dahlia.
Yes.
You return to consciousness. The world looks much less clear. Almost like it's like there's very few like lines of resolution to your awareness. Everything has this kind of odd pink tint to it. Not completely far off, in fact. And as you kind of let your perceptive sensors kind of give you what you can, you realize that you can hear and you can see, but you are not hearing or seeing.
Okay.
But as you begin to sort of try to
Am I a brain in a jar?
I'll phrase it to you like this, my dear Dahlia. As you begin to sense in one direction or another, you do see several cylinders filled with liquids of varying colors, and within them there do appear to be cerebral organs. There do appear to be brains in jars. You see them to the left and to the right. You see them across the way. You see a figure kind of moving very low, kind of glancing at these objects. One of them is speaking again, a language that you don't quite understand. I want you to, however, with your Dahlia stats, make an insight check.
Hey. Plus 1 insight. 19.
They're talking about you.
Well, of course they are.
And you, with no, this is not a... They think you're special. They think they can do some they think you can do some interesting things. They think you are a very special specimen. They're excited. That is where we are closing tonight's session. Major occurrences have happened.
What is this game?
I think that for the moment, we are probably going to actually consider, because Oksana is compromised, Dahlia is not going anywhere. I think we are going to consider this, if not a TPK, I mean, it is a TPK, but I think this will be a full reset of characters for next week.
Ooh.
Wow.
And to that point, I'm actually going to be needing to talk to you players about that, because...
Yep. We gotta discuss.
There has been this has sort of served as an interesting prologue to this game, but kind of, Blood from a Stone is an open-ended thing, and I think that we may be ready for a new phase. I thought it was maybe going to happen at game session 26, because that's 2 13s, but you're all dead, so this might be the time for it. Thank you so much for watching tonight's session. I hope that you enjoyed this. Oksana and Dahlia have been here a long time, as really has Dylan, and Denk was not here long, but damn it, did he make an impression. At least
Really
on
good.
me.
Yeah, I know, Denk was fantastic.
Oh, poor
I
Denk.
did it for you, Philip.
I appreciate
It was
it.
so good.
Denk
I'm
was
so
Denk,
sad.
man.
Y'all, he was so excited about this character. So excited.
And that is true.
He's
That
been
is true.
talking about it.
Perhaps that, and yet you didn't know anything about it. You just
I
knew he
feel
was
like-
excited.
There's a
Yeah.
special club for everyone who has created like these really interesting, unique characters that we think are gonna, and then just die.
And the dice are just like, no, let's have horror surge. And
We need our blood.
They all go to the Rainbow Bridge, like like dogs and stuff. All those characters go to the Rainbow Bridge.
Rainbow Bridge, the city version of the Rainbow Bridge.
Dylan's going to a farm upstate.
Wow,
Yeah.
I just
taking him there. To be kind.
I'm just looking over at chat here. I really am never looking at chat, but I do see that Book and Dagger just said Dylan wouldn't be dead. In fact, and I'll go even further, that horror surge would not have happened had you just let Denk grapple you.
That is so true.
The moral of tonight's session is that when a
Let
fish
the fish
person
man grab
says, I know who you are, 11d7 deaths, you stop. If you enjoyed this game, yikes, but also, I mean, I did, so yikes together. We will be returning with something very interesting next week for Blood from Stone. If you want to see another intense game but with a very different flair, check us out on Sundays for Here Be Dragons, a game where the players are very powerful dragons, but they are being chased by even more powerful bipeds who are done with dragons causing trouble. On Mondays, we have Wild Beyond the Witchlight, except now it's not, it's Wellness Beyond the Witchlight. Be well, y'all.
I hate that.
Those are the current shows we have. If you want to find out more, follow our Discord. Join our Discord. I don't know if do you follow a Discord? Do you join it? I don't know how that works. Follow this channel. Subscribe if you'd like to.
If you have Amazon Prime, you do have one free subscription that you can use, and you can use that for our channel because we do a lot of stuff all the time.
We have a lot of crazy stuff going
And
on all the time.
God bless our DM.
Shout out to I'm guessing it's Minnesota Twins, but MN Twins 2421.
His name's Dan. His name's Dan.
Shout out to
He was on my TikTok live today.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
For I know gifting a sub this evening. That
Oh,
was very
thank you.
exciting.
That is so kind.
Thanks, Dan.
I appreciate when people gift subs.
Or
Yeah,
Dan
we
what?
had a hype train this evening. That was very exciting.
Wait, you did? Usually you guys make me real aware of that. Wow.
No,
Well,
we were
It
hyping.
was a
without-
short.
It was a short one, and there was a lot going on in tonight's session. My
Yeah.
God. But
Yeah.
well, very good. Yeah, and also we have crazy downloads you can find on our Discord page. If you want to find out about any of our fabulous players here, go to our About page here on Twitch. Speaking of which, players, if anybody wants to plug anything, you may do so now. You don't have to, but you may. It's like a no pressure situation. Some of my players like to plug stuff. Some are like, I'm all plugged up.
If you like trees,
I was gonna say it.
go.
I was gonna say it.
Say
All
it.
right, so I never talk about this except to everyone else except this. But if you like the art of bonsai, I've been doing bonsai for like about 20 years. So
Little
you
trees.
can follow my Instagram page where I share all my bonsai secrets and techniques in garden at Zane's Trees on Instagram.
Now-
Zane's Trees.
I'm
So-
sure that this joke has been made. But
Do
I
it.
do need, from the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man, I need Bonesaw to do bonsai.
Bonsai's ready.
Bonesaw is ready.
Oh.
I got you for 3 minutes of playtime. I need Bonesaw to be ready doing bonsai. Bonesaw is bonsai?
Maybe for next Halloween. I mean, I got a year to plan.
That would be delightful.
Do it.
Do it
Okay.
up.
All right.
But well, thank you guys so much for watching and for following our wonderful players. This is such a fun game. I'm all three of the player deaths. I mean, even Robert Schlichter, it was sad to see him go, but we were all. I knew about Dank. I was ready for him. But that's rough. Dahlia, by the way, is dead. Consciousness still around in a very interesting fashion. So both Dahlia and Oksana will be seen again. Poor Dylan. Oh my God. She could have stabilized you. I think that's worse than killing someone. It's just like, come on, you can do it. Aw.
Yeah. Ooh.
Vicious.
If you haven't noticed yet, Stremzaz is, I'll phrase it like this. There's a reason she was entombed in that shrine by a plane primarily of liches. There's a reason she was locked up.
You know, I
Yeah.
did not trust her from the beginning. I knew she was a little off.
Stacy's trouble. Don't
Sure,
get me started on
no.
Stacy's mom.
You're gonna go there. That was good.
She's
I
got it going
anticipated.
on, you know?
all I've waited for actually not that long. I'm
So
fine.
long.
Yes, and speaking of so long, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Until then, have a dreadful night.
Ooh.
Bye-bye.
Oh man.
Your bags are packed, you're at the door. A taxi's on its way. There's nothing left to say. I'll give you back the ring. Don't look at me like that. You had to know it ends like this. Couldn't you feel it in my kiss? I'm not happily ever after anything. But don't give up, not for 1 hour. The game's not over, you'll be fine. You'll find a way to up your power. What you're looking for is in another castle down the line. I feel like we've been running through somebody else's dreams. It isn't what it seems. I can't keep up this game. You're looking for someone to rule a kingdom by your side, but I'm nobody's bride. You need to know you're never gonna change my name. But don't give up, not for 1 minute. The game's not over, you'll be fine. You'll find another chance to win it. But what you're looking for is in another castle down the line.